There's a lot of pressure to copy what everyone else is doing. It's kind of a copy culture. You'll see trends on social media. Everyone's now doing that because someone else did it and everyone else is doing it. But that's not what makes you successful. What makes you successful is being authentic and knowing who you are and then working from that space because you're doing things no one else is doing. I'm Katie Willcox and I'm a girl boss. Healthy as the New Skinny is an online brand that started just posting positive content that was really directed at body image. So we started 5 years ago before it became really popular on social media. And it wasn't necessarily intentional. You have to realize no one can copy you if you're authentic because you are yourself and there's only one you. So no one can copy that unless you're not being who you really are. When we look at success, I think especially millennials, it's instant. It's instant. Everything is now, and it's big and bad, and what it is just constant validation from everyone. That's success, and the biggest and the best. Your business is your life, and you literally work till midnight. This is not a 9 to 5. This is all hours. That's the other thing where people look and they go, oh, your life's so easy, or it looks so fun. You're like, yeah, what you're not seeing is me up at 11 o'clock editing video, editing pictures, us shooting all day. Nobody's seeing all the work. They just see one post on Instagram. Balancing family is really hard. We're kind of lucky because we have an awesome employee, Sam. So she's here with us multiple days a week. And then Brad's here, my husband. So we all work from home. So if I'm editing or working on something and I'm like, oh, she's going crazy, I'll be like, all right, we hand her off to someone else and then he'll take her for a while, or we put her in her bounce house. So it's not glamorous, it's not perfect, but you can do it. And it's just about going, okay, this is my life now and I'm just gonna adjust to it and do the best that I can. We all wanna be great, deep down. We wanna be chosen, we wanna be special, and we have to look at what society has told us brings us that feeling. And what we'll find is that our culture is very superficial. So we kind of think all these superficial things are gonna fill us up, but yet when we get that, it's never enough. So we need 1 million followers. We get 1 million followers. We need 2 million followers. We need to make $100,000 a year. We make 100,000. Why am I not making 400,000? We gotta start evaluating ourselves on that side to go, oh wait, maybe what society's teaching me is gonna make me feel good. Even when I achieve that, it's not making me feel good. I need to reevaluate it because it's not authentic. When I got pregnant with my daughter, I stopped posting modeling type pictures. You know, I didn't have any work stuff to post. I was like huge and pregnant and we would just post these funny things and girls kept writing me saying, oh my gosh, you guys are so inspiring. And I was like, what? I was like, what, really? We're not even doing anything. Like, we're just being stupid. And they're like, no, like your relationship's really inspiring. You're laughing all the time makes me feel better. And I was like, whoa, that was such a trip for me because I was like, I was just being myself. I wasn't trying to post anything. I wasn't trying to make my page look a certain way. I wasn't faking anything. I was just being real. And that was such a valid lesson for me. It's like authenticity is now the thing that people are like, what is that? Because everything is so false in our culture. So I think tapping into that within yourself is gonna be the most difficult thing to do, but it's the thing that makes you unique and it's the thing that makes you successful. When you're connected to yourself as a person and you know you're smart, you have talent outside of just looking a certain way, and you're good at what you do as a business person to be like, oh, she's just a model. That means, oh, I'm just pretty or I'm just photogenic. You're like, no, I'm not. I'm so much more than that. Like, I'm 1,000% more than that. And I want young girls to start to see that too. This is an outlined diagram on my body of what I would have to alter to look like Barbie.
Wow.
And this was so interesting because when they were drawing on the lines, which was really fun.
I'm sure that was very
because I'm kind of shy, so I was like, oh my gosh. By the end, I was like, just get this over with. But you know, looking at myself with those lines, I even started to question. I was like, oh wow, those boobs are really high. I was like, So you know, that's exactly what's happening. Is you look at these images and then you start to question yourself, and to be like, well, maybe I should. Maybe this would need to be changed. And I think that's what girls are having to face all the time. Is why can't I look at anyone that looks like me?
So when you look at
Why are we teaching young girls that being skinny is the best thing in life when it's actually harming everyone? We should replace the goal of being skinny with the goal of being healthy, because then girls can work at their natural size. They're not gonna have eating disorders to try and maintain an unrealistic ideal. And then all the girls that look up to them are going to then be able to be like, oh wow, she looks good and she's like me. And there's gonna be a variety of that type of beauty. We keep our content for the female eye, so it's not a bunch of sexy lingerie pictures that's body positive. To me, I don't think that helps women feel good about themselves. I think that's just surface level, and it might help them feel good in the moment, but I think deep down we have to go past all of that to be like, all right, we're not our bodies, so we need to stop focusing solely on our bodies. What's making us feel inadequate? I always say fat's not a feeling, so when you say you're feeling fat, that's not a feeling. So let's talk about what it is that's actually making you feel inadequate. Let's figure out what the real issues are here. I used to think being on the cover of a magazine was ideal, right? You're like, oh yeah, if I was on that cover, I've made it. And then I had this aha moment because I ended up being on the cover of my own book. And it had never occurred to me before that I could do that, because I always sat and waited for someone else to choose me for their project instead of choosing myself. Stop waiting for people to choose you. We do that from the time we're young. We have to wait for someone to ask us to the dance. We have to wait for someone to ask us to get married. We have to wait for someone to say, oh, I give you permission to be someone great or to do some really great shit. We sit and we wait. You don't need anyone else to choose you. You can choose yourself, and your success is up to you. How hard you work, how good you are at what you do, and taking pride in that is ultimately where your success lies. So I think when it comes to self-value, that's why we do the work we do. If young girls don't value themselves, they're never gonna have that confidence to go, they can do it, why can't I? And that's the whole goal.